There's a belief system out there that would have you thinking that testosterone, if you're a man, is the cause of why you live shorter lives than women. Hello kindred longevity lifestyle designers, this is Zach here with SecretsOfLongevity.com. Going on that little intro there is this pervasive belief among some circles that testosterone causes the reduction in lifespan for men as compared to women, and that's the main cause. I would definitely refute that because, number one, testosterone levels have been plummeting in the last 50 to 100 years. We're about 1/3, if not more, of what our ancestors from the 1800s to early 1900s had. The other factor, of course, is going to be that testosterone is very significant in preventing cancer, diabetes, heart disease, and a whole host of other illnesses, chronic illnesses, major diseases, and when you have high testosterone levels, this prevents those. Also, men today are having their testosterone levels drop drastically over the course of their life. And it's been shown in some studies that testosterone levels do not have to drop at all, and if you're living a healthy lifestyle, they generally won't, depending on what your idea of healthy is. An extremely low-fat diet will probably cause dropping in testosterone levels because you don't have the building blocks for good, healthy hormones. But in general, testosterone is the absolute best thing you can keep elevated in your life as you're a man or a woman. Women obviously don't have it anywhere near as much, at 1/10 to 1/20th the amount that men produce naturally in their bodies. However, the effects of free testosterone are different from the things that testosterone turn into. So women don't need to fear getting an Adam's apple, getting hairy, getting massive muscles, unless you're raising that testosterone level and it's transforming to DHT. And to actually get big muscles, you have to actually work out, so they're not just going to suddenly pop out of your body. And having a bit of musculature is always a good thing. You don't need to look like a runway model to be considered feminine. So this is a Q&A. Someone sent me a question asking if the cause of the difference in lifespan between men and women is, or what they had heard was because of the difference in testosterone and estrogen. And this was, I think, their father, who was an MD or GP, that was telling them this. I would definitely want to see some evidence for that to consider, but they didn't give me a link or anything with that. But I will just say I've done videos in the past on this issue, and I've determined what in my feeling is the actual cause of the difference between the lifespan of men and women. You can always click this link here if you want to check that out. It's a two-part series that I did over a year ago. It's not even 20 minutes. It's just two parts because at that time the limit was 10 minutes long, so I think it's like 2 7-minute parts. And I go into the main factor, in my opinion, which is clearly shown by the change in difference between men and women's lifespans between 1900 and now. There's been a 5-year increase in the gap, and that's largely been the changes in cultural values around gender roles. Without getting into more, I'd highly suggest looking at that video series, and you can learn more about that. So yeah, testosterone is fantastic for health. It's important for health. It's a preserving factor of youth. Hey, we'll get back to the main topic of this video in just one moment. I have to say that if you're a regular subscriber, perhaps you're just watching my videos on an intermittent basis, or maybe you just came across this one video this one time, but you're liking what I'm saying, in which case I definitely recommend hitting the subscribe button above. I would definitely appreciate any contribution you're able to make, whether it's through a phone consultation you set up with me, a donation directly to me, or purchasing products through the affiliate links I have listed on my site or below my videos. Specifically below this video, when you click the drop down box, I've got affiliates for a variety of companies I highly recommend and which I use the products from on a regular basis. You see me feature them in videos in the past. And yeah, if those suit your fancy, by all means look into them. Otherwise, there's, like I said, the other options there below the video as well. If you want to get to this page from somewhere other than YouTube, you click the little button in the bottom right hand corner there, has the YouTube logo, and it opens up a new tab in your browser where you can get to those links. So with that, we're going to get back to the video, and I wholeheartedly appreciate any contribution you're able to give to me. It of course keeps your skin youthful and tight looking, and that's definitely a factor that women want to keep in mind if they're concerned about sagging skin over time. It also helps maintain strong bones. Osteoporotic issues are generally from a lack of testosterone. That's a factor in there. And high estrogen levels actually increase your susceptibility for virtually all types of cancers. 99% of cancers are estrogen driven. And those are specific types of estrogen, so you don't need to completely wipe out your estrogen. Obviously women need it, and men need it too, but it's different types and varying amounts, and it's not something you want to play with, but you want to avoid elevating estradiol is the main one, because that's the most carcinogenic type of estrogen. So the idea that some people have that testosterone increases your chance of mortality or increases mortality is that, number one, it is known that testosterone has a slight immune suppressing effect. That doesn't seem to have an overall effect on mortality. It might if you have AIDS or any other already compromised immune system issue. You're not going to want to be getting raging testosterone levels if you're in one of those situations, perhaps. I don't know. I do know that testosterone has a beneficial effect against cancer, so if it suppresses the immune system a little bit, but the net result is more beneficial just from the other effects that testosterone has, it's not a non-issue in my opinion. The other thing that people talk about is that criminals and dangerous behavior and all this other thing is linked with testosterone. Those studies that look at that are all correlative, they're not causative, so they haven't isolated testosterone as being the only cause. And if that's the case, that testosterone does cause that, then it's not an issue again, because there's also lots of people who have high testosterone levels who don't do those things. That's a matter of choice, and if people with high testosterone levels tend to be more independent and driven, does that mean that we need to say that anyone that's independent and driven should not be that and we suppress that in our society? I don't think so. The highest level CEOs often have the highest levels of testosterone seen in people. Female MPs or people that are working in politics are increasingly being found out to be taking testosterone to swim with the sharks, so to speak. So this is a thing that we have to look into, and not just look at the surface conversation, which is trying to blame one thing, when there's actually deeper reasons to that. So people who tend to be driven are either driven to be criminals or driven to be successful within society's context of what's correct. And obviously we want to have people going towards what's best for society and other people, and those who make bad choices are obviously going to run into the problems associated with that, but it's not testosterone is not the cause, of course. So if you enjoy this video, like, favorite it, comment on it, share it with friends in other places, Twitter, Facebook, etc., and check out the links below, and embrace life without limits.